Derbs is going to be a weekly here again with baseball season coming in. Always like our weekly conversations with Derbs. You can talk anything, but right now, Major League Baseball front and center with the Houston Astros ongoing saga. Looking forward to Derbs here. Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
So let's start before we get to Houston. LSU wins last night midweek. You see them for the first time over the weekend. They take two from Indiana. Everybody's talking about the arms, Derbs, and want to hear your thoughts on the pitching. But I know that the offense made an impression on you as well.
Yeah, we've had the bodies and the talent on the arm side, and it's just a matter of staying healthy and seeing those guys go out there first couple times, going to big league springs. Guys go out there, you stand next to them, bullpens, you're like, man, I don't belong here. These guys are way better than me. And then it's the guys that stay available. And if Stores and Jaden Hill and Cole Henry, I mean, the list goes pretty deep now. We can go 10 deep on this with excellent arms. So that I'm waiting for. Yeah, they impressed me, but I already knew they were good. Now what's really impressing me is the freshman talent that we have, that they're ready too. And, you got to tip your hats to where they played summer select ball, the coaches that had him in high school, because Milazzo, man, he looks like a pro. Like when you're watching a freshman play college basketball, you're like, ooh, that's different. Like it's already ready. Now it's just got to tune some things up, get stronger. He receives the ball well. He's aggressive throwing the ball to bases. He swings the bat pretty dang well. It's fun to watch him. He's got guys that he's been around in the past that are already on the team. Doty looks ready. Swinging the bat, especially the glove is there. It's just a matter of maybe loosening it up. He looks a little stiff sometimes when he's fielding balls. Something he can work through. Seeing the Travinsky kid, who's a monster,
huge.
Just flick a ball into the right center field bleachers last night on a breaking ball. They've just got some guys that really look like they're ready to produce at this level. And there's complementary pieces like Bianco and Gavin Dugas and all these guys that are kind of coming in. But more importantly than all of that, it just looks like an approach, a mental approach at the plate. And it's a short little body of work, but it looks like it's changed a little bit, whether it's aggressiveness or just looking ready to hit in a different way. It could be just the personnel, because a lot of times it ain't the coaches. Sometimes it's just personnel's better. But, yeah, overall, I really like what I'm looking at when I see Mathis and Beloso and Cabrera, all the guys we know, Garza, but then all these other complementary pieces coming in as freshmen.
Derbs, you played 13 years in the show. You took a world championship, played for another one. You're a very prideful former big leaguer. You're around the Philadelphia Phillies in the offseason and around spring training. You got a great relationship with Nolan and a bunch of the pitchers in the league. What is the state of baseball right now with the Houston Astros saga and Rob Manfred, his PR disaster?
Well, it's the Mike Tyson line. Everybody's got a plan until they get popped in the mouth. And, the Astros in baseball got popped in the mouth. The good thing that I see coming from the players, and I haven't really seen this. I came into baseball in 96, so 94 was a strike. So, we had big leaguers looking down at us like, hey, you better be ready if this work stoppage ever happens again. And the reason I go straight there is as a union, we are united. But in this instance, you see the fire in the 97% of the league that aren't Astros. Yeah. 97% of these guys are like, hey, look, they were wrong. They don't look or sound contrite. Manfred didn't handle it right. And what I see is if you want to screw with MLB players, whether it's current players screwing with their future and their paychecks and their numbers, or whether it's Manfred not owning up to how valuable World Series trophy is, or banging the drum a little louder on punishment, you see the players rising up. And I don't know why I love it, but I love hearing Mike Trout and Cody Bellinger. We're talking about MVPs coming out and saying it's wrong. I'm disgusted. I've lost respect, because it is a game that needs to be played that way. It needs to be played the right way. Yeah, guys have been stealing signs from second base, looking in at the catcher, or guys tipping pitches, or if a catcher doesn't cover his signs, a third base coach or somebody in the dugout is like, hey, man, I got him. But to do it the way they did it, technology was eventually going to come into the fray. But just, man, I'm yet to hear a guy other than Marwin Gonzalez or whatever, who's with the Twins, just say, hey, yeah, we really screwed that up. We were cheating. It was available. It was hard to say no. Nobody really, stood up and said, we just don't do it. It's not that I don't like it. No, just don't do it. And then you've got all this video available to every, guy in his basement, and they're looking at, whether he had buzzers on or all this stuff. So it's a black eye, but what I see from the black eye is a big time fight back from the players saying, no, we're still strong. We're still united. We're not going to have this be our story this year. And I think you mentioned, we talked about it briefly in text, and on Monday, I think you mentioned it. The Astros need to own this, not only in, hey, man, we're sorry about it, but now that nobody likes our apology, screw it. Yeah. Let's go win anyway. Let's be the guys in all black. Let's be the bad guys and go win in spite of everybody. Because they're a great story. Like, I want to watch the Astros play now to see whether or not guys, hit guys, or if there's going to be brawls, if guys did enough MMA work in their offseason.
You better do good, though. Yeah. If you're those hitters and you're the Astros, like, you better do good. Because if you get in a slump, everybody's just going to say, well, it's because you're no longer cheating.
T-Bob, we need to start a GoFundMe, page for the pitchers in the league that are going to lose salaries for missed time and getting fined because they've already come out and protected the Astros. Well, I wouldn't care. I'd go out there and drill as many as it took for them to toss me out of a game.
Wow. And so
that's the mental attitude I had back then. Now, I might get with my team. My team's like, you know what? Let's pick and choose when we want to do that. But the mentality as a player, as a pitcher, is, wait, you didn't just cheat me. You cheated every one of my guys.
Yeah.
There are guys that just pitched in September against them that had 18 earned runs, 3 outings against the Astros, and only gave up 2 more in 16 other innings, and they don't have a big league job anymore. So I feel for that guy, because you tell him, just do better. You don't like it, do better. Well, I did better, just not against them.
And so I was going to say, one of the weird quirks about all of this is that the players, in order for the MLB to get them to testify in the investigation, the players had to be guaranteed immunity. What do you like? How do you think the league as a whole feels about that? Like should these players have been punished? And then for a guy like Alex Bregman, like, where does his reputation stand now?
Well, I think there's a graduated process to this. Obviously, to get the information he needed so we could stop this league-wide, he had to do this. I think guys like T-Bob, you've been a freshman, and you know what this hierarchy looks like at the pro level. If you're the new guy, and Breggs was a new guy, and you come into a culture that says this is the way we're doing it, he doesn't know any different. And he may know it's kind of wrong, but, man, I guess everybody else is doing this. So I'm not giving him an out at all. There's no LSU out for him, for me. But I would like to see more ownership and just, man, I knew it was wrong. I screwed up. It won't happen again. I'm going to play this game as pure as it can be played for the rest of my career, and let judgment be y'all's. Not on. I'm not going to judge anybody. I'm just going to go play hard. But those guys are super talented too. Like, not only do they have this, stigma attached now to the rest of their careers, but they're also really talented guys. And just seeing some of them want to stand up for some of their current players, like, Altuve never cheated. It is so impossibly hard to believe whether that's true if everybody else is doing it. Even if he didn't want the information, it's just really hard to believe. So I understand from a player standpoint that they should blow up, but this is the first time they've been in front of mics. This is the first 2 weeks of spring. Yeah. And MLB Network and ESPN and all the local reporters are making their tours down there before they start playing games, which is coming up. Once that happens, everybody's going to kind of go back to the way that they do things as far as answering questions. But first time you get in front of a mic and a guy asks you a freaking lightning rod question, I'm glad the superstars are speaking up. I'm glad they are. It shows me the fight and fire that they have. And I honestly think it'll all it's not going to go away permanently. But once the first couple games and series and 15 days passes in April, I think we'll get some answers to questions maybe we have. Is this guy going to get drilled? How is the retaliation? What's the league going to do? But they don't face some teams till August. So Who knows? Yeah. It might be their turn then.
Chad,
it'll be interesting. I know y'all got a small window, but, man, I'm feisty about it. I'm glad that some guys have come out and been contrite, but I'd like to see a little more ownership from the players.
Yeah, and I love getting your takes on it, Chad, because you can speak on it better than anyone.
That's why we'll talk to him every week here on Off the Bench. Enjoy the weekend, Durbs. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys.
There he is, Chad Durbin checking in.
Dude, out for blood.
I'm telling you.
He has a few thoughts about that.
Like Mattress Mac,
How
take
about,
the
how about
over.
that take? I'd throw at every one of them until I got it back.
Like Mattress Mac, what the over under 86? You said he bet on the over.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you, Mac.
I mean, after hearing Durb's take, I'm smashing the over.